Welcome from Blu-ray Engineering. I'm going to introduce how commercial property owners can take advantage of tax-saving strategies many building and facility owners are missing. The technique, called cost segregation, is a strategic tool that allows owners of commercial property to accelerate depreciation of certain assets. A cost segregation study identifies the facility's assets that can be reclassified to take advantage of shorter depreciation periods and accelerated depreciation. This increases cash flow and defers federal and state income taxes. In most cases, a cost segregation study will reclassify 20 to 50% of the total facility costs, excluding land value, into classes of 5, 7, and 15-year lives. A cost segregation study not only defines significant tax savings available on relatively new facilities, but even properties purchased, constructed, or renovated as far back as 15 years ago can receive huge year-one benefits. This is due to the IRS's allowance to look back and catch up on all of the depreciation that would have been available had the study been applied to the first in-service year of the property. So besides income tax savings, what other savings are there? Property tax reduction, decrease in insurance premiums, loan accessibility, and better planned asset replacement costs are all areas that potentially offer significant savings to you. Your next question might be, is an engineer necessary? A quality cost segregation study is based on a detailed engineering analysis and is a method preferred by the IRS. The documentation you receive will be completed based on current IRS and state regulations. This assures that the resulting revised facility depreciation schedule will be prepared the way the IRS and state officials accept. Why work with Blu-ray Engineering? We specialize in understanding the intricacies of the tax code and associated cost-saving engineering analyses. We will also provide a free property analysis from your completed property profile form, which can be found on our website. If your property is an appropriate candidate for cost segregation, the next step is to gather the necessary documentation from you and conduct a site visit. Typically 2 to 4 weeks later, the report is complete. And the cost? Most often it's considerably less than the savings you'll realize in just the first year, and the savings continue year after year. Double-digit returns on the study investment are typical. For more information, contact Blu-ray Engineering.